you know, you have to give full marks to somebody who makes those admissions, as you alluded to earlier. Here you see Doris led into the ring by her husband, Rudy, her husband and trainer.
Absolutely, and you can tell by the midsection, she's in exceptional shape. And very pretty colors, I might add.
Sequins, aren't they?
I believe so, yeah. No, very nice. Almost looks like a dance floor ball, but just ribboned out. But
in my disco days?
In the disco days, eh? The disco days have come and gone, but we have Doris here to stay so far, and she's getting ready and awaiting her opponent right now. And this is a part, Cecil, I know a lot of boxers, they sit in the ring, especially in professional fights. A lot of times they'll have that time limit for the other fighter to get down to the ring. So that's when nerves can kind of get jarred up. But that's what separates the good fighters from the not-so-good fighters, male or female. You got to be able to deal with that distraction and know that sometimes it's intentional. So Doris looks ready, and I know she's going to fight her best she can anyway.
Well, Doris is a fighter who has never lost a fight. She has 17 wins in 17 amateur bouts, and she was a Canadian champion in 1998, and currently she is a Canadian champion at the 60-kilogram division.
Yeah, and Doris says she works out 6 days a week for 2 hours, which is admirable. And of course, her ultimate goal would be a professional world championship in the women's division. And who knows, at 1-0, she's looking to go 2-0. We could expect greater things from her as we now get a view of her opponent heading towards the ring. Once again, that's Shakurah Witherspoon from South Carolina. And she's heard very little about Doris so far, she says in the interview, other than that she is a southpaw like herself. So we'll let them sort it out between them, and nice colors again by her. So if nothing else, we got some pretty colors in the ring.
What color would you call that? Aqua?
I guess that would be like aqua teal, I think, from my days as a fashion consultant.
Yeah, you're a fashion consultant.
Well, maybe it's time we did let women in the boxing because, I mean, hey, they had a lot of color to it and great fighters, as we're about to see.
A 6-round bout, 2-minute round.
So there's a good look at Shakurah Witherspoon
is Ken Wood
from Greenville, South
Greensboro. And I notice, ironically, her nickname's Pugs, much like Pugwash. So we'll see how that works out.
Well, I certainly am not going to ask how she got that nickname.
Nope.
She is ranked 7th in the world. She's ranked 10th by the WIBF, 7th by the IWBF. She is the sister-in-law of 2-time heavyweight champion Tim Witherspoon. She fights out of South Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Let's welcome Shakurah Pugs Witherspoon. And fighting out of the red corner, she has an unblemished professional record. She was twice the Canadian amateur champion, undefeated in her amateur career and professional. The pride of Pugwash, Nova Scotia, Doris Hackl.
So a great ovation for Doris the Hammer Hackl, and Shakurah Witherspoon, sister-in-law of terrible Tim Witherspoon. How do they get the same last name there?
I don't know how that works out as far as mathematically, but we'll have to take the word on that one. We'll just have to assume that she's a great fighter in her own right, as was terrible Tim Witherspoon, as everybody knows. And the two meet in the middle of the ring, and I'm sure right now they both have something on their mind. One's undefeated, one's world ranked. After this, maybe both that'll change.
So referee for this contest once again, Ken Wood.
Ken Wood, the man in the middle, the third man in the ring, and he's done a great job all night. And we have no reason to believe he won't continue it.
And there's the bell. We're underway.
And again, Cecil, we have two southpaws in the ring here. And I guess technically you could say that Doris has fought, she's an exclusive southpaw fighter in her pro career so far, early as it may be.
So far, you're correct. Doris with a distinct height and probably reach advantage over Witherspoon.
Certainly looks that way.
And Witherspoon certainly looks all business in that ring, too.
Absolutely. She's got the eyes down, looking through the eyelids and whatnot. They look like they're both focused, ready to go. So a little bit of a feeling out again.
Hackl opens up early and lands a combination to the head of Witherspoon.
Boy, does the crowd ever react. Who do you think they're supporting?
Doris Hackl in her second professional fight, fighting in the feature bout of the evening.
Well, that's a heck of a feeling for you. No doubt about that. It'll be easy to tell, I think, where Doris has been hit. You can tell by the red in her stomach already, and she hasn't even took a hard shot there. Apparently marks fairly easily. We'll have to see what kind of marks she leaves tonight.
Hackl in the sequin trunks and Witherspoon in the
teal,
green, blue,
teal, aqua, I think it is actually.
How's about this? Witherspoon is the blonde.
Witherspoon is the blonde. Got it. The brunette and the blonde sounds good.
Hackl lands a solid right hand on the jaw of Witherspoon, who smiles it off.
I don't know if you see it early on, Cecil, but she does have some resemblance to the fighting style of Terrible Tim Witherspoon. Just kind of leaves that prodding style, leaves that hand a little low. I wonder if she'll be as sneaky with it. She better be, because Doris is coming on nice in this first round.
Well, feeling out round. And I'm not even sure if Witherspoon landed a blow, but Hackl certainly landed several, so we'd have to give her the advantage in the first round.
Certainly would, and you know, we go to the corner now of Shakurah, and she's getting some advice. I'm sure they'll just tell her, don't let your nerves get in the way. Go out there, work the jab. Don't let anything get, you know, worked up in your head. And for Doris, they're probably telling her, just keep that combination. Keep working the jab, and don't worry about it. Just keep working your game. The crowd is definitely in this one as we check out the replay here. We see Doris come across with the right hand after a little left uppercut there. Not a lot of damage done, but the scoring punches. And we get ready now for round 2. This scheduled 6 round, I believe it is.
Boxing really good. Keep your weight low, just like they're doing.
Once again, the card girl will take her exit before the 2 other girls head out to the middle of the ring. Shakurah is definitely looking to get a little something going here offensively. She's definitely not going to win if she doesn't start punching.
Well, round 1 is in the books. Certainly advantage to Hackl, and let's see what happens here in round 2 as Hackl comes out throwing the right jab, as does Witherspoon.
Doris really trying to use that reach, throwing a lot of straight punches, not really worrying about the hooks right now until she gets inside.
And the fighters seem to be willing to mix it up just a little bit more in this round than in the preceding round. Hackl throws, misses a left, and catches her with a left-right combination.
And Shakurah's going to have to start throwing that a little more. She's going to have to find a way inside. Doris obviously with a height and reach advantage, so she's going to have to find a way in the back door right now.
Hackl just a little bit short with that left.
And it's funny, Witherspoon doesn't throw that jab a little more because she has landed it when she's thrown it. It's just a matter of not throwing it. 2 sizing each other up for now. Content to wait for the openings. Witherspoon throwing a little more this round anyway. Not a lot of authority on the punches though. She may want to try to even set up a couple soft ones, followed by a hard one. Although she made enough effort at it there, so that's not bad.
Doris Hackl, Canadian champion, squaring off versus Shakurah Witherspoon from Greensboro, South Carolina. Hackl with a left hand. Now she's got her in the corner. Lands another left, now jab. Hackl starting to warm up a little bit to the task, and she's got the crowd on her side.
Chant of Doris. I obviously like this young lady here from Pugwash, Nova Scotia. She's built herself up a 1-0 record, and she looks to be on her way to a 2-0 record. Barring any kind of fallout, she's looked so good so far. Drops that right hand in this.
And that was about the first blow that Witherspoon has landed all night, was a left hand just before the bell.
But I don't think good enough to win the round. Not by a long shot. No, so far, Hackl is definitely taking control of the fight. She's dictated the pace, and so far, I would have to say that Witherspoon has really been a little reluctant. And if she's going to do it, she better start soon because we're heading to round 3, the halfway point of the fight.
Let's see if we can listen into Hackl's corner. So Coach Wayne Gordon asking her to, after the jab, think about the right hook once in a while.
That's right, and that's what she wants to do, especially with a shorter opponent. She can get a lot of leverage on that. And the two back out at it again for round 3. 3 of 6 we got going on here. And Doris going to try to work that jab, and her coach tells her, throw the right hook. Drop it in there. Wouldn't hurt. Very reluctant opponent so far in Shakurah Witherspoon. We may decide to pick it up pretty soon, although she's going to have to.
Well, Hackl starting to work that jab, and she's got Witherspoon holding on here early into the 3rd round.
Yeah, Witherspoon is definitely a little reluctant. She must have got stung. I mean, it's tough to say how hard those blows are, although that one probably didn't feel too good.
Another left hand landed to the head of Witherspoon by Doris Hackl. Doris wants to mix it up a little bit now. Here's that jab.
Doris working the jab very well, and everything will come off that because, and you can tell that Witherspoon's a little flustered right now. She doesn't know what's coming. She's a little panicky, and that's exactly what Doris wants her to do right now. That's playing right into the game plan.
Well, Doris Hackl very, very cool in that ring. Doesn't seem to get too flustered.
A little showboating there by Hackl. Sitting as if to say,
Hackl now just standing there, hoping that Witherspoon wants to fight. And Witherspoon seems ready to mix it up there as the two exchange blows in the corner. Hackl getting the better. There's a left hand.
The crowd definitely liking this 3rd round. And Doris definitely would like a little more action from her opponent. I suspect she'd like to do a little more counter punching, but forced to carry the offense, and she's doing that well.
So Doris the Hammer Hackl is hammering her point home that she wants to climb that ladder in Canadian and international professional women's boxing as she's laying a thumping on Shakurah Witherspoon here at the end of the 3rd round.
And at the halfway mark of this fight, there's no doubt that Doris has got 3 rounds to 0 in the bag.
All right, we're going to have to take a little break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more professional women's boxing action here at the Metro Center. Entering round 4, Doris the Hammer Hackl in the sequin trunks versus Greensboro, South Carolina's Shakurah Witherspoon.
As we mentioned, is 7th ranked in the world, but she's looking very much so a class so far in the first 3 rounds. And she's definitely got to get something going soon.
And the way Doris seems to be in command of this fight, it doesn't look like Witherspoon's even going to present too much of a problem. Doris with a distinct reach advantage, and she's letting both fists fly now.
Absolutely, and I think right now Doris is really overwhelming her with the reach and her ability to hit her with different angle punches, which I think Shakurah is almost to the point where she's scared to throw because she feels she's going to get hit. But no doubt Doris has wanted her to throw a little more punches, and I suspect it's because she wants to throw some counter punches off of it. And the two, she's got her on the ropes a little bit, and Shakurah doesn't seem to want to move around too much. And now the two girls in the middle of the ring beginning to mix it up a little bit. And a little bit of disturbance here in the crowd. You can hear them really wailing on them right now. The two girls are trying to keep the composure, but they can't help but notice there's a little bit of a ruckus outside the ring right now.
And inside the ring, Doris the Hammer Hackl and Shakurah Witherspoon putting on a good show.
These two girls have come to fight, and it just goes to show that they don't even care what's going on outside the ring. In the ring's what's at stake. A number 7 world-ranked woman against an undefeated woman, and I'll tell you, one of them wants to come out with the other's gut.
Well, I'd venture to say that all Doris Hackl has to do is stay on her feet. She's got this contest in the bag.
Yeah, she's got it under control, and I mean, it's almost to the point now where she wants to sit back and just pick her shots, but earlier on, her indication is that she'd like her to fight a little more, so I wouldn't be surprised if she gets a little mad about it.
So Doris the Hammer Hackl once again in control. Didn't appear to have too many problems with Witherspoon in that round either.
Now in this round now, Cecil, you get to the point where in the 5th round of 6, she's obviously in control of the fight. I wonder if she's going to go for a knockout or just play the safe way. I mean, I would think that right now what she wants to do is just try to work her jab, stay in the fight, not really try to push the issue too much. And if the knockout presents itself, then she probably might want to go for it.
Well, there you see her virtually unblemished, Doris Hackl, and usually her left cheekbone bruises kind of easily, so you can tell she's taking hardly a shot at all.
No, not at all. And we seen earlier in her stomach, all it takes is to touch her and she turns a little red, so easy to tell. It's almost like paintball. So we get ready here for round 5. Shakurah Witherspoon and Doris the Hammer Hackl.
So here we go. 5th round is underway. Hackl comes out blazing away with that jab.
She really wants to drop that 1-2 in there. The only polishing up I think that Doris could use right now, she seems to loop that.
Oh!
Took the one there.
Good left hand from Witherspoon finally lands. And back Doris up for a moment.
Yeah, Doris actually may even relate to what I was going to say, was that Doris is kind of looping that right hand a little bit. She's throw that right down the pipe because she's also, in order to loop it, you leave it open just that split second that somebody could slip a punch in there.
Well, Witherspoon landed a right hand right on the nose, and there's some blood now coming from the nose of Doris the Hammer Hackl.
Yeah, the first, maybe only shot she landed was one of the better ones of the fight. Certainly won't be enough to win it in the judges' eyes, though. She's got to really get busy, but something like that can be encouraging, especially when you do see blood. People have a habit of, you know, it's like the old analogy that a shark smells blood or a dog smells fear, they'll attack.
Seems like Witherspoon is just doing a little bit more stalking in this round, looking maybe to land that big blow.
Yeah, and I think she's given up on combination punching. I think she's just looking for that opening. She just wants to drop that one big bomb in there and have it done, but that's not sound strategy. You really have to work for those openings. And I'm sure she'll learn that as she goes along in a fairly young professional career so far.
So a combination exchange right there by both boxers.
Once again, the crowd getting behind the hammer.
Hackl drops a left hand in there, kind of a grazing blow.
Shakurah trying to look for that opening.
18 seconds remaining here in this, the 5th round.
And these girls are just in great shape. You can't say enough about it because they've both taken some shots now. Doris has been throwing a lot more, but she's kept the composure great.
Good exchange at the bell for both boxers, but Doris Hackl seemingly well in control.
Absolutely, and going into the last round now, it looks like Doris Hackl's got an easy lead, and she probably may want to sit back and just take her time, pluck that jab off, pick off the shots that Shakurah is trying to throw. And Shakurah's taking some heat in the corner, but we're looking at the replay here, and there's the one shot that bloodied the nose of Doris Hackl. And although the viewers can't see it, we're looking in the corner of Shakurah there, Witherspoon, and her coach has been a little mad at her. You got a little physical there for a second. Just gave her a shot with the cloth, saying, come on, are you going to fight for me or what? Back to the replay here. We see the two locking it up towards the end of the round, and they really started to let them fly here. Not great quality punches, but they were landing nonetheless.
Well, certainly the effort and the will is there.
No doubt about it. They both come to fight. You got to give them full credit for that. And it's not easy to come into a hometown of a Doris Hackl like this. And I mean, you hear the obvious support the crowd's giving her. That's a tough thing for you to overcome, but that's why you got to be professional about it.
So here we go, the 6th and final round. Doris Hackl and Shakurah Witherspoon.
Doris looking for that right hand again. It's landed for her before, and she's looking for it. If Shakurah was smart now, she'd really just be looking to counter with that left hand, just like that. That's her best bet, because at this point, there's no doubt she needs a knockout, which would be a tall order.
I'm amazed that Doris Hackl's even coming forward here. I just keep Witherspoon on the end of the right hand jab.
Absolutely.
And use my mobility.
Now, there's, you know, it's got to the point now where she has nothing to gain and everything to lose by continuing to fight her. I mean, and there should be a fine line drawn between running and just being a professional about it. I mean, she has no reason to get inside and mix it up. Well, nothing to gain.
Doris Hackl, though, she comes to fight. She's not here just to win by boxing. She wants to win and win impressively.
But we do notice now Shakurah's actually started landing some of her better shots in the fight this round. So once again, it would be a good idea for Doris to just work that jab and drop that right hand, and that's what she's been trying to do all night anyway, and it's worked pretty well for her. So she must just keep on with the game plan she has.
We've got 40 seconds remaining in the contest. Doris Hackl, 40 seconds away from winning another professional fight.
Advancing her record to 2-0.
Takes the left hand. And she certainly would do well to get off the ropes and stay out of the corner with 25 seconds remaining.
Absolutely. It looks to be well on her way to winning this fight. It's too bad that Shakurah Witherspoon didn't start to fight until about the 5th round, because she could have made this a lot more of an interesting fight, but I guess we'll take the cards that are dealt to us. I wonder what this does, Cecil, for Doris now, beating a 7th-ranked world fighter very handily, as it looks like, as it has turned out now. An explanation point on the fight. It's Doris Land's last shot. Witherspoon over to embrace her and tell her she fought a good fight, which she did.
Now, I don't think there is any question about the winner of this contest here.
No.
Doris Hackl should win a unanimous decision, and anything other than that, I guess, would be a severe shock to the many in attendance.
Barring a happening of the likes of Holyfield Lewis.
I'm not even going there.
No. That's just something the boxing community would like to forget altogether. We take a look at Doris Hackl in her corner, in all likelihood, advancing her professional record down to 2 wins with no losses. Still undefeated as an amateur and a professional.
The announcement of the outstanding pro boxer this evening.
So there's Doris Hackl.
Congratulations to Jody Dory tonight of Dartmouth.
No doubt about the decision of this fight, but look at the shot she landed there, and that's just nice hand-eye coordination, tying her up when she needs to, letting the shots go. I know the decision here is not in doubt, but if I had to cast my vote for who is the professional tonight, I'd have to think LaRiviere's got to be in the running. He looked fantastic.
I hate to say I told you so, but I told you he's something special.
Well, it was a pleasure to watch him fight. I look forward to it.
We will see him again, and I'd like to see him take a little step up in the caliber of his next opponent, because I think he's equal to the task.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like you say, he's looking so good, so young. He can afford to step it up without really taking a real risk. 3,200 is our announced crowd tonight. So you're pretty much on the money on that one. You told me so again.
Plan to do this all again in November. Another night at the fights coming up in November.
So Doris, the Hammer Hackl, waiting to get the decision over Shakurah Witherspoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a split decision.
And the announcer just announced that we have a split decision, which is just kind of mind-boggling to yours truly.
I would say, I hope those magic words Holyfield Lewis didn't spoil it.
Actually, allow me to rephrase, the decision is unanimous.
Oh,
okay. Little candid camera.
And now Shakurah Witherspoon turns and looks at the announcer.
Judge Jerry Dorian scores the bout 59-57. Judge Craig Smith scores the bout 60-54. Judge Brian Much scores the bout 60-54. For the winner, from Pugwash, Nova Scotia,
still undefeated.
There you see the winner from Pugwash, Nova Scotia, Doris the Hammer Hackl, who defeats Shakurah Witherspoon.
So now that boasts her reputation quite a bit. To be the 7th world-ranked fighter, you got to wonder where that places her in the grand scheme of things.
Well, you know, Doris does want to move on up the ranks in women's professional boxing, so certainly want to feel good for her.
Absolutely, and it's a tremendous step forward for her as well. But we got to give her credit again to Shakurah Witherspoon, who came. I can't really say she came to fight too hard, but I mean, coming into a hometown crowd, pretty rough. Great support for Doris, good fighter, and she knew it from the get-go. So
she came to laugh.
Absolutely. She was standing in the end, and good caliber fighter. You can't say much more than that, really.
Doris Hackl is just been awarded the most outstanding professional boxer of the evening.
Doris, of course, the headliner.
Once again, a thank you to the sponsors.
She's done well for herself. Again, 2-0. Still undefeated as a boxer, and she gets the kudos on top of it.
All right, we're going to throw it now to Dan Robertson, who's standing in the ring with the winner, Doris the Hammer Hackl.
Thanks, Cecil. Doris, tell us about the fight. A great one. What was the key to your victory?
I was boxing her, not going inside and fighting a fight inside, but standing outside. So I have the better reach, and it worked very well.
The fans really were behind you here tonight. How did that feel?
Very good, I like it. And I really say thank you to all my fans here.
And what's next for Doris Hackl?
We don't have a fight planned yet, but I'm sure there will be one in the next future. And we are working towards getting a title shot as soon as possible.
Okay, well, best of luck and thanks for your time. Okay, that is Doris Hackl. Back to Cecil.
All right, thanks so much, Dan. Cecil Wright and Darren Bowden here. Great evening of professional boxing witnessed by 3,200 in attendance, and we'd like to think there are thousands in our viewing audience. Doris gets most outstanding professional boxer of the evening. Certainly she earned it.
Fought very well, and again, making her mark up to 2-0 as a professional and 19-0 as a boxer. So we're looking for bigger and better things from her in the future.
Well, that really says something, her winning that over the likes of Mike Harvey, who landed a beautiful body shot and stopped his opponent. Vince Schreiber, also Steve Lerviere, who we just love, and he did the same thing to Guy DeForge, and even Fadi Mazui, who stopped Todd Black.
Absolutely. We've had a great mix of professionals and amateurs tonight, and as far as the professionals go, you know, you can almost throw the names into a hat and pick them because they're all very deserving.
That's right. We don't want to forget those amateurs. The amateurs led by Dan Green, who just scored probably the best shot of the night, right on the button, stopped his opponent, Gary Sheehan. Gary Sheehan.
Gary Sheehan knocked out, pretty much a one-shot knockout, and there was no doubt from the time he hit the mat, and the ref knew it, the crowd knew it, and so did we.
And of course, we should mention Tyson Cave and Scott.
Absolutely good learning experience for Tyson Cave. He fought a good fight, and hopefully he'll take from that what he can learn and come back future as well.
All right, so we hope you've enjoyed the evening of boxing from here. We're going to send it back to Dan. So long from Cecil Wright and Darren Bowden. Hope you enjoyed it.
Good night.
And that about wraps it up here from the Halifax Metro Center tonight after an extremely exciting night of boxing. We certainly hope you enjoyed it. For Cecil Wright and Darren Bowden, I'm Dan Robertson. Thanks for watching A Night at the Fights live on East.